side, but as the drone works its way in, it will reveal quite a pretty heavy defensive setup from Beast Coast, so maybe seeing that Ash move to a different position as you were just mentioning there. Away from that, though, we are going to see Forrest actually line up to go for that very quick bathroom play. Makes his way in. The castle's blocked as well. Doesn't have a clean rotate path, but Hyper still able to steal one away from this assault on the back end of it, while Forrest has the initial success of taking down his first target. He's got a long-range duel to go for now, and it's not the easiest one to win. Kills are flying out all over the place, and it favors Beast Coast quite heavily.
He played fairly disciplined in these 3v2 situations, and as Hot and Cold drops, there's already a crossfire established, and diffusers dropped on the floor. NAL likely soon to fall after.
Pat already asserting dominance, as we saw in the previous series from Beast Coast. He was the outstanding player there, and is going to be the outstanding player right from the beginning of this series on round number 1, immediately getting a quad kill to start this series out against SSG.
But this time, SSG also adapting very quickly. They found nobody is on Library Stairs, and they can try to clear this position on Mezzanine. As Hot and Cold pushes on in, Hat is caught completely lacking. There's another player now stuck above the hatch with somebody at the bar double window. Merc will take the fight, but now he's in a bit of an isolated position, and Hyper's won his as well. SSG's clear once again, meeting staunch resistance.
Fultz now trying to finish things off with the top-down pressure, still being alive against the winning angle to take that player down. It's Vertical, who's reascended from his defensive position in the basement a few moments prior and retaken some control up top. The drop goes exactly as he'd expect it to. Unfortunately, nowhere near enough pressure cleared out by the attack. And as a result, as they try to flood into the site, it falls apart very quickly, giving a second round over to Beast Coast.
Hat also knows that there is somebody on that garage balcony window, so we should be able to move around, but the moment JNO drops, down goes Hat a little too aggressive, a little too liberal with the control he thought he had, but 2 huge kills go Beast Coast's way. Hyper might be low HP, but if he wins this fight, fortunately he doesn't. It's not going to 1v2.
Shots coming in from SSG, and they complete the prophecy, claiming their first round here on round number 3, taking that full control of basement. Unfortunately, just not enough aggression coming out from the defense that are trying to stop it. It should work out perfectly, too. No resistance immediately set up by the defense. Immediately storms over to the stairs. Defender is ready for the fight, but not ready for the challenge, as Merc gets 1 and 2 as well, with the shotgun in hand. Follows up with another pick against Mr. B, while Fultz also cleans up closer to the site itself by taking down Vertical. Just Hyper, never mind, just Hyper inside of the server now, is Hat also taken down by Merc. The play on execute works essentially perfectly, and now Hyper a clutch in front of him, but he can't achieve it as SSG takes the round instead.
That was just such a clean, clinical round from SSG. Needs to be careful. If those fire bolts are not placed in line or placed properly, that Doc can heal himself to full HP and may be able to survive, but with an opening kill, it's even more dire for SSG.
Hyper gonna try and see if he can heal his way through this molly that goes down onto the ground. Does not end up working out, but the defense still holds strong, mainly because of the prowess from Doc himself here, picking up quite a few kills before finally going down. Hat also dropped, so seeing SSG, mainly Forrest here, get back some control.
Unfortunately, can pick up the diffuser. Be very difficult to pick up the round. Knows someone is likely in stock, and there are 2 people, in fact, in stock. So maybe a lucky pre-fire can nab 2 and make this a very clean 1v1. But unfortunately, it's seeming a little unlikely. A little low intel, low time, and low morale. Forrest will make this ill-fated push on in, and Vertical will take him down. I still like the attack from SSG. It's just unfortunate that Beast Coast are able to win the opening pick, take down Merc as he once Nade goes in. He can now open the wall. So good try by Doc, but a smart rotation by SSG will now result in them opening at least 1 wall. And Forrest, never mind, I was about to say, had an exothermic, but now he's on the floor.
Great timing on the aggression there from Hyper. Perfect opportunities. You can see SSG is not expecting anything right there, but SSG responds in kind. A very well-placed nade from Merc gets the trade onto Doc. Overwatch on that back stair position, removing some of the prowess, of course, from this attack into Wine itself, but it still should be perfectly workable with 2 people. Now we can see the third one trying to work their way in instead from the back end. However, I correct myself. It's really just one trying to make this play forward. Hyper fends off both of the Wine players. Hot and Cold does make his descent onto the inside, but at the same time, the defense is still more than ready to fend off that challenge, as Wine had already been dealt with. So his fellow teammates are in very much the same position from a vertical plane. Hat, though, the patience pays off. Moves forward just a little bit towards Piano. Hopes someone from SSG comes wandering out to check for it, and indeed they do. Mark gets spotted out, the first one to go down for the defense. If Beast Coast can claim a second kill without trades, they'll even us back out into a 3v3 here, but that second kill is going to be evading them quite heavily, as you can see once again on the downstairs clear. Vert is not spotting anything as he reaches the bare precipice now of Dining Room. Hyper indeed feels the confidence to go for the plant. Hot and resist that entirely, though. Takes out the remnants of the entire attack, and very quickly this goes from a contested round to one fully in SSG's hands in just a second or 2 there.
But if they can contest this library control for a little longer, deny the position for Beast Coast, losing Merc might not be that big of a deal, but Vert has taken site control, and that's a bigger problem.
Vert just walking right in, but Fultz also resisting a little bit of the play from upstairs as well. He'll be traded back out, though, so beastcoast very quickly recenter their control across the map. J9 is all that remains now for the SSG defense, and he's still stuck upstairs. Not going to stay there for very long, though. beastcoast quickly clear things out and pick up another round for themselves.
That's one thing.
They're up for the challenge now. As already we've got a couple members of beastcoast starting to broil their way in past library control, taking top blue for themselves as well, though it's not fully taken by them just yet. Hot and Cold is able to pop out, claim the first kill of the round. We see another one picked up by BC2, in fact, but at the same time, Hyper is going to be downed by a frost mat. I believe Fultz can just run over here. Yep, finish him off real quick, but doesn't realize there was a follow-up from Vertical there, ready to immediately res him. Thought he would have been aware. Tries to go for a little bit of a face check. Pays the price for it, though, as he's going to take some heavy damage. It's the same thing for Hat as he challenges up against Merc, but still enough damage is claimed with the extra player in their favor. They're able to throw their bodies at the wall and thankfully just chip away at some of these remaining defenders. Now, J9, of course, gets one exchange, puts it down to a 1v2, but he as well, heavily injured. It's the same thing for Vert, tries to go for this Nitro. Second one, it may land, and indeed it will, to bring us down to a 1v1. Indeed, it stopped the plant also there, as the planter tried to get off of that one, thought the second throw was not going to be late enough, but Vertical gets the job done anyway for the attack. And beastcoast, though it's very scary, they ultimately still maintain control. So with Rye through tricks or other means, if you do have Forrest playing a bandit right now, they can just have Hyper pop up in the walls himself and make very quick work of this. As we're going to see him do, this is beautiful. That's from so Hyper. Big. Just opening up a firing line. Even if Forrest tries to run away the direction he was spraying, he would have gotten caught on the transition back into the closet. A trade is found, however, by Hot and Cold up on top of the main stairs window. Oh, a clean one tap from Hotton to follow that one up and get a second kill. Point out, Case is now down outside of Snowmobile Garage. Hat's about to be dead. And there he goes. Love that from Fultz. Vertical here is now the last one standing from the attack. So SSG, I think it's safe to say at this point, unless Vertical gives us a very impressive show, that SSG are going to be holding on at least for this round. And there we go. Just instant headshots all across the board, it seems. SSG not showing an inch of their bodies, let alone their faces.
Behind them and utility in front of them. This is going to be a difficult one for beastcoast.
It seems like they're aware of that factor, though, but still, Hat's going to get found out as he tries to go for the hop-in. Confirmation comes in very quickly from Fultz against Mr. B. And now Vertical also been dropped. Technically just 2 alive here now for beastcoast, although Hat may still be retrievable. However, they may just not have the capability to do it now. They get Hat back, but the entire inside push has died at this point, with Hotton's most recent pickup. Case is even down on the ground here. Like you said, far too difficult of a take given all the defensive elements that were still left alive, and it continues to show that way as we are now down to the final player. Hat alone inside of the 1v4 here, trying to clutch this one out, and it's just not going to happen. Hot and Cold claims yet another kill, and SSG now puts themselves 1 round away from overtime. Would have heard the clear come through and sees the drone yet again. This all falls to timing now. Who peeks first and who gets the better headshot angle first? The swing across, and unfortunately Forrest just does not expect Vertical to be that deep. The good news is, all that time wasted bought room for Fultz to now rotate over. He finds the trade, and the rest of SSG is taking full control, continuing to push the envelope.
Slower beastcoast who can get that opening pick. It'll either come away bloody or take a lot of time. SSG still retain that advantage, and the Ella might get even one more. No, it's Fultz, the Wamai inside a bar. Mr. B, the only one left now, is overtime.
In the pocket, so there's just no way for Mr. B to make this angle work. He's also far too low to even justify a push forward now, so really his only choice yet to hop out the window, but Hot and Cold reads that play like a book, shuts him down, and triggers overtime for Space Station. Vertical's hands. It's about 30 to 45 seconds of time that gets bled out because of that initial kill as well, because the person they were killing, and another pickup now from Forrest going 2-0. Like I said, it's been a quiet game from him so far, but this round, it's his time to shine. The initial pick is beautiful, and the follow-through on the Nitro is even better. But to finish my point, off of that initial kill, still, you had a massive amount of time wasted as Vertical had to go all the way back to the top of the mountain where they spawn at and pick up the case. Now, Hat finally ready to fend off some of this pressure, but apparently the boil from SSG is a little bit too much. Their fault still with the ever so reliable.
The Doc and Vertical has, but after a little bit, they've got to push eventually.
Doc ready to move in, but is his teammate in the right position? Seems so, but still the challenge comes through from Forrest to take him down. That's 3 on the round from Forrest. Let's make it 4 as he gets the final player as well. First round of overtime, very much so in the hands of SSG, and now 1 more to go to complete the set on the comeback and take ultimate control over this first map in the series.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere to set up Forrest for this rush.
Forrest slowly sneaking himself forward, and realistically, he's not the only one. Obviously, Heightened making some pretty forward advances here too, and he's not expected as he reaches the top of the stairs. Clean pickup from him, but there's at least one more to go deeper on the inside. And in response, we did see Beast Coast claim 2 of their own kills, so it's Beast Coast currently holding the advantage. They're going to keep it too. Hyper able to fend off Hot and Cold's clear up towards Library. Fultz going to try and find the trade on the inside of it, but J9O picks up one first. Fultz does successfully find the kill on Doc, however, so we're back to an even field. A 2v2 now
down below, but that's okay. He's still holding an angle into the site, so the Flores can work the vert, and J9O can watch either of these players rotate, but now he's the only one left.
Fultz gets found out in those top-down angles. Vert heavily injured from an earlier fight inside the round, so it's not impossible for J9O, especially if he can isolate the individual players, but at the same time, nicely played here. The Doc heals him right back up, but J9O now steals the Doc away, takes him down. It's now a 1v1 with 30 seconds to go. Plenty of time to play this. Vert getting flashed out, ducks and dodges his way back into the inside of the bar. J9O realized this, but doesn't see him hiding behind the chassis, so round 2 of OT goes to Beast Coast instead. It's up to the final round of round 15, though. Not showing face on the site just yet, so they continue to hold him back while they still look to set themselves up. Merc gets the first response kill as Hat tries to press forward, pays the price for it. Another one picked up by the defense too here. Forrest eliminates Hyper. Rest of the attack is still trying to move forward in the same way, so could very well just be setting themselves up for more deaths here. A 4v2, now a 4v1. Mr. B sneaks one off as he's able to get some advanced site control, and it does not go noticed by SSG, but past this point, indeed, the spray for the final kill goes wild, and SSG win it out instead, completing the complete rebound and taking control in overtime to claim map number 1 of the series.
Structured, clean, aggressive. What else to say? Good shit from SSG.
Nicely done by SSG as they take that first map. Second
Selma, depending on how other things go, could deny SSG an immediate angle into Archives later on in the round. So let's see how it works out before we get there, because Forrest has already killed Hat, and he's already killed Mr. B, and now he's dead. He's acquired 90 control and has basically given SSG a veto-proof advantage.
We have seen Fultz as well pick up a 3rd kill now for the squad, so already things have been brought down as Hyper and Doc. One of those which has been pushed into a corner deeper in the site as well, so not even a good amount of safety there to play into, as it is going to be Hyper sitting right behind the Lockers half wall right now, just trying to sustain, trying to buy time for his teammate to get into the action, but even he's overwhelmed when he's finally thrusted into the fight. Hyper now alone and just full committing to that spray there, gives himself up to the sandwich position, and the round as well over to his opponents. The action going on, but does not let itself into any kills just yet, but that'll change very quickly in a 1v1. Now another pickup found from Beast Coast as well. They equalize things as Hat finds the 2nd frag to still keep his team in the advantageous position. Mr. B pushes it one step further as well, as we see SSG puts their feet down and remains stalwart in those positions, not giving up anything. That is, of course, till we see Merc sneak off another kill, but even there, it's instantly traded by Mr. B. Good play off of each other coming in right now from Beast Coast. If one player goes down, they're immediately there to support each other, make sure that the killer does not get away with anything else. J9O is all that remains here now for SSG in the 1v3.
Bomb located by attackers.
J9O's brought it. Never mind. All right. It's
that was a very quick end.
The first round for Beast goes a very quick and quiet end for J9O, and a very quick start for SSG. That
sitting in the way, so Forrest not even fully confident on that, as now we're about halfway through the round. No trade has been picked up yet by SSG. Only just now are they starting to take some of that map control away. Here once again over by the east stairs. Oh, a big peek from Forrest as well. Goes directly into multiple players from Beast Coast. Hat is the main one ready to frag out there. He's gonna get one more on top of that for 3 on the round. J9O with a good adjustment here, gets the call out from his teammate. Quickly flicks over to Hat, and a few times now they've been just stuck here fighting for the last 30 seconds or so. And everyone on Beast Coast is already well aware of this. That doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna be able to stop the flow coming through. As J9O picks up a 2nd one on the entry, tries to go for 3, but Hyper has his angle locked in, trades out, and Fultz is unfortunately lost as he swings the corner. Very quick closeout once again from the single shot rifle, and that will give the round over to our defenders. So this will be the only cross angle they're able to establish for themselves. The good news is, again, the wall is soft going into the actual site itself, or at least the area above it here, so they could still knock that out, but Beast Coast more than ready for this challenge. Hat goes for 2 against both Fultz and Merc. J9O also going to get knocked out here by Vertical. Hot and Cold sneaks through the chaos, and Vertical claims a 2nd one as well, but Hot and Cold looking to trade this out very quickly. Not going to end up working out. Vertical controls the situation instead for BC as they continue to dominate so far on this defensive side of border. See pressure come in from SSG, but a little bit late to the party as Hat quickly dodges away from that position. Elsewhere on the map, we do see Vertical knocked out. Could be the first kill of the round as well, so SSG gains a slight advantage upon that and going to be able to push it even further now with this nice little wrap from Hot and Cold onto the inside of Passport check to knock Hat out, but Doc finally claims some revenge here. Puts it back down to a much more palatable 3v4 for himself and the rest of his team. Kept that spray going for a little longer. Might have picked up another one, but instead, it's the headshot coming in from Hot and Cold through the wall. Hyper now left alone in the 1v4 situation here. Literally pushed into a corner as well, playing the bathroom angle. Not even going to stand a chance, unfortunately, as Merc walks right up into a free headshot angle. That's the cleanest round we've had yet from SSG. Position behind this hard breach wall. Thankfully, the hatch, although unbroken, sits right next to him. He's got the shotgun pistol. That's an easy escape to get out of this situation. Doesn't last for very long beyond that, though, as downstairs control is still very much in the hands of SSG right now, and they take him out quite quickly as he tries to rotate back over towards the main lobby.
Yeah, SSG right into that perfectly the moment it happened. If you saw the moment vertical drop, SSG or Merc hopped down as well to shut that down. Now with it being a 5v2, Hyper can't really stop this entry into Archives because they can walk up the balcony, get the control. Mr. B's got to win this flank, and he's got the first kill at least.
More pressure coming back in, though, and both of the remaining defenders just fall to pieces a second later. SSG really starting to come into their own, it seems, over these last two rounds. Of aggression to be swung out from SSG, but they're just not getting it at the moment. SSG not challenging them in any department across the map here, so they're going to have to take that first step forward. They do, but they're simply gifted a kill, it seems. Merc just dashing across the room. Bad timing for him as Hyper claims that initial kill. Vertical gets a follow-up. A second one from Vertical as well. Now 3 overall on the round. Fultz and Forrest are all that remains. Beast Coast, it seems like they were merely just gathering intel as they were hesitantly holding on the outside. This is a clean execute and an ace from Vertical out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, that was probably just...
The rush coming back in. Mr. B going directly past the site as well. Wants to wrap all the way back through the hallway to completely encapsulate anyone that might have been holding deeper into vents themselves. Now taking a duel against the player on the inside of the big shower. It just brutalizes him as well. Another target sat in front, but I believe he is going to get found out from that position this time. Nope, Mr. B still up and in it, it seems like, so still alive and well as Beast Coast have been able to flood. They have taken site control. Nice trade being found, though, by Beast Coast on the attack as they take out J9O here. He's trying to work those top-down angles. Fultz is going to read into Hat's continuing play from that point forward, and Merc as well with another trade from up on top. This is the downside of going to that direct play because of that one. Plant still obviously hasn't happened yet either. So there are some issues with this attack showing up now for Beast Coast, though finally feeling enough safety to go for that plant. Let's see if it lands down onto the ground, and nicely done by Hyper. At least has the overwatch for his teammate here. Takes out Merc, but Fultz trades that right back. Sends us into a 1v1.
A blitz 1v1?
A blitz
Eyes on the diffuser.
and a Malusi. Oh boy, what do we have here?
Oh!
Fultz just snipes the head off instead. Mr. B lost the position of Fultz, trying to wrap around there, getting the flash out, and as a result, Fultz gets the clutch going instead. Man, look at this.
Wow, he is angry.
He's just really testing his crouch key up there. Grenade working its way through from the attack. Nearly takes the life of Merc away, but a little bit too far away from his position to deal full damage. He'll be at about half HP instead. Merc having control over the fight. Initially takes a while on the spray, but eventually knocks out Forrest. But we're going to see Fultz and Hot and Cold now find trades either directly or indirectly. That pickup we just saw from the attacker's perspective. Hat as well, losing a lot of HP on the hop through. Can't do anything about that. That's certainly frustrating at a minimum here, but still trying to frag it out. Won't work out, though. J9O shuts him down outright, and Doc's position is far too easy to counter angle, so SSG get a clean closeout to this Teller's hold.
The main hard breacher dying. This time there is some backup. Doc has one can opener of 2 remaining, but no advantage gained by Beast Coast. Nothing even remotely close. Mr. B and Hat now cut down. The best player on Beast Coast in this map so far, Vertical, still alive. But in the 5v3, now this is the position when you can start maybe pulling back a little bit, but no retreat by Hot and Cold. He's finally taken down, but Beast Coast are in such a strong down.
Not a whole lot that can stop them from finding success here. It's going to take a big amount of entry power from either Hyper or Doc to make up the difference. Although Doc gets us off to a good start, just can't carry it forward. That was the problem we were hoping they would not run into. An immediate trade shows up in the favor of the defenders and indeed pushes them that much closer to match point as well. And for Merc, it's an easy close out as he swings the stairs. His opponent apparently none the wiser to it. Shuts him down outright and sets up a 6th round for SSG. Holding himself back for good reason here. Doesn't necessarily want to throw his life away early on. It's a very careful dance he has to play to make sure he supports his teammate behind the half wall as well, and he plays it perfectly. J9O getting the shutdown against Doc, trying to chuck in those nades. Forrest from the half wall picks up a 2nd kill. We will see Vert get his own sort of revenge there by landing a nade, I believe, against the half wall player. Either way, another member of SSG having gone one down. Hack gonna try to proceed forward past Beepers here and should be able to indeed catch Forrest on the cross. Good timing on the play from Hat there. Puts beastcoast back into this round now, but oh, hot and cold. Puts them right into the back seat yet again with that depth charge from below to take out another member of this attack and leave it all on Mr. B and Vertical now.
Mr. Beast does have some vertical control in a tight angle, and that's J90. Back to a 2v2 and no C4s to worry about this time. 40 seconds left and another kill, but Merc's flanked. He's got top control, John, and he's right behind the attack.
Gonna try and creep up onto this one. Gemini's going out as well, so a free kill against Diana right now. They're stacked up, but he hasn't noticed them. If he goes through Beaver's gonna give himself away, but no, the first target is not even Diana. He doesn't think Diana's there. Diana has free response, but she's shot, so Merc's gonna know about it. Merc trying to play this patiently. Does he get the shot? No, he dashes back outside instead. We see Merc trying to follow it through, but he's not gonna find it. Drops down instead as he knows he has to focus on the OBJ. So go for the plant, tries to obscure himself, should not be visible to a top down angle, but no, he will present himself. Merc's patience pays off, and SSG close out the series 2-0.
2-0, Beast Coast hopes dashed, and I think the favorite of NA, the second place team, makes the major.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to end a very exciting series in the favor of SSG.